Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to another video on the channel. Today's going to be a bit different of a Ravenfield video than my normal ones, and today I'm going to be suggesting 5 ways that Ravenfield could improve. Now, I'm not saying Ravenfield's a bad game. It's not. I have over 300 hours in this game. I've loved every hour of it. I have loads of videos on it. This game is fantastic, so I'm not throwing any shade Steel Raven's way. I'm just simply making suggestions on how the game could improve. So that being said, let's get into the video, starting with number 1. So number 1 is going to be more vanilla weapons. Now, I know there are all kinds of weapon mods out there that can pretty much cater to any type of gun that you want, but my criticism here is that a lot of those mods are very different from one another. Some of them are super realistic in the way the ballistics work, some of them aren't very realistic, some of their bullet speeds might be faster or slower than others, the spread might be different. So I think if we had more vanilla weapons to kind of unify that experience, it could be a little bit more fun for us, because I like using the vanilla weapons sometimes, especially the Patriot and the M1 Garrett. I think are probably my favorite vanilla weapons right now. I would like to see more sidearms, because right now we really only have that revolver, then the SIND7, which, on the topic of vanilla weapons, that pistol could really use a redesign. It kind of looks like crap, to be completely honest. It definitely needs a bit of a texture update. Would also love to see an LMG. A couple of snipers would be good, because let's say right now we really have the Recon LLR, and then we have the AW, or whatever you want to call it, the 115 Accuracy International. I don't remember what it's called in Ravenfield off the top of my head, but that's what it's supposed to be. And that's really all we have in terms of snipers. Another thing that I think would be cool to see is maybe a bullpup assault rifle. But yeah, like I said, just adding more vanilla weapons into the game would feel pretty good. Mainly because we'll get that consistent ballistics mechanics, and also I think that the vanilla weapons do bring a lot to the table in terms of gameplay. If you ever just turn off all the weapon mods and just play with vanilla, or maybe the vanilla plus weaponry, you'll see that because the bullets move a bit slower and are a bit less accurate, it adds a lot more challenge and skill to the game for not only you, but also the bots, and I just think that's something really cool that I would like to see further explored. So number 2 on the list is going to be more vehicle slots. Now, when I say more vehicle slots, I don't necessarily mean more types. Like, we don't need another type of tank, although I would like to see a new tank model come into the game, because the vanilla tank that we have currently, I don't really like. I don't really think the old tank was very good either, but then again, there's always mods for that, so that's not as big of a deal. What I want to see more than anything is more vehicle slots. Like, for example, instead of just having an attack helicopter and a transport helicopter, why don't we have a light attack helicopter? It would really bring up some opportunities to maybe have a Little Bird, and then a Black Hawk, and then maybe we could have an Apache, so we have more variety in the vehicles. I'd also like to see an artillery slot, and maybe, last but not least, a transportation truck slot. Kind of a vehicle that's not quite a APC, but also not quite a Jeep, somewhere in between, like a Jeep that holds loads and loads of people. So that's number 2. Now, number 3, and perhaps a lesser thought about one here, but I think this would really go a long way in terms of immersion and making the game feel alive, is more sound effects, and more specifically, footsteps. I mean, I can't tell you how many times I'm trying to play a more realistic setup, and I haven't even found a mod for this, but you can't even hear your character's footsteps, and I just think that this would be something really cool to see. And in addition to more footsteps, maybe we could have background sound effects like birds chirping or waves moving if you're on an ocean map that's got a lot of water, right? Just an idea. I think sound effects could go a long way in this game in making it a more immersive and just fun experience overall. Idea number 4, which I realize might be kind of difficult, is more maps, but more than just more maps, more detailed and dense maps. So a lot of the default Ravenfield levels I've noticed are kind of like really wide open. They don't have a lot of detail. They're more or less just hills and like valleys. You know, maybe you have a little bit of incline here or there, or a couple of islands. There's not a whole lot of detail in them. Now, I do realize we have maps like Citadel, where there's like the whole fortress going on, there's the little village, but what would it be like if we could actually go inside of the buildings in that village, or if there were even details inside, like little tables and chairs and things like that? Now, I do realize that this would make the game take a huge hit on the performance side of things, which might be an issue, but then again, I've seen a lot of custom modded maps that have loads of detail, and some of them still run quite good. And in addition to this, maybe this would also kind of let me talk about smaller maps. I like the big maps, I love them, but seeing 2 or 3 smaller maps I wouldn't be opposed to, especially if they were like hyper detailed, but I'd also like to see more detail on the bigger maps as well. So going into number 5, our final way to improve Ravenfield, which is kind of a obvious one, is better optimization. Now, with EA26, we did get quite a lot of optimization upgrades to the game. I was personally able to almost double the bot count that I was using, and this is good, but I always think that there could be a little bit more. I've noticed I've had this weird experience. I don't know if I'm using too many mods or if just something has changed, but it seems like the little micro updates after EA26 seem to have scaled back that performance boost a little bit. But again, that could just be me using too many mods. But either ways, I think we can all agree that better performance upgrades, more bots, would be a lot more fun in a lot of cases. So that being said, that's going to be it for today. If you enjoyed this video, leave a like on it. Comment down below, what do you think could be added to Ravenfield to improve the game and just improve the overall experience? Thank you for watching, and as always, stay safe, have a great day, goodbye.